Good afternoon for the Toastmasters and guests. Kind of, please don't start. I'll just take a few minutes before I start my story today. I would like to thank the entire team here today to be supportive because our long journey has come to an end. So I would like to thank all the members who supported us in this entire term and has helped us to win all the laurels for this term, and the mentors and the seniors who backed up in all the situations to help us to grow as well as the club to grow. And it's a proud moment to tell that one of our member has become the area E3 director, which is Toastmaster Ananda. Can have a big round of applause for him. And Division B director, Toastmaster Prashant. Last but not the least, I would like to thank our set of officers who were there, ever supportive, and who helped us achieve all our goals. We have met all the goals which is required for our term, and I think this deserves a big round of applause. Okay, so get started. Some of us love to travel. Some hate traveling. For few, traveling in flight is a fun. For few, thinking of flight itself costs jitters. So let me narrate an incident today about my first travel experience, which unknowingly buckled up my passion for travel and made me a globetrotter. So this incident happened during my college days, during my semester, and how many of you have an uncle who has a business? Nobody has an uncle who has a business? And those who would love to promote their business to relatives first and then to customers? Okay, fortunate. I had a person like that. For the sake of story, let's call him Mr. Z. So Mr. Z was my mom's cousin brother. So both of them have grown up together since childhood. You know how it is, right? How naughty or rude our cousins are. Aren't we not really fond of them? So was the case of my mom with Uncle Z. She was really fond of him, that he took that as an advantage to promote his business. So Mr. Z was a tour operator. So whenever he used to visit us, he used to tell, hey Uma, you know what? I went to Kanyakumari and there was this large Tribhuvan statue and the sunset behind that. It was so awesome. And on the way back, we went to Tekadi, the lush green tea estates in which our vehicle maneuvered slowly. It was an awesome sight. Hey, you know, you're going to Kodaikanal next week. Would you like to join? I've been resisting it for a long time. Until that semester holidays, where my mother couldn't resist anymore, and she agreed to join the tour without consulting me or my brother. I was too upset that day, not because my mother didn't consult me, but for the fact that I had to travel for 10 full days with Mr. Z, whom I hated to travel with, and the tour was on a bus. And what more irritating was the fact that I have to pack up ASAP to join the tour the next day morning. So next day morning, Uncle Z came to our house, personally picked us up and took us to the place from where the bus was about to leave. So we arrived earlier than the other fellow companion travelers. Just then, a white, glittering, air-conditioned omnibus with bucket seat maneuvered and parked majestically, smoothly like a water droplet on a lotus leaf in front of us. Oops, that was my imagination. In reality, it was this Hyder Ali Times bus. I think it would have been out of service at least 10 years before, which my uncle would have bought for a cheaper cost. And instead of dismantling and selling for scrap, he would have given a new incarnation. I stared at my mother. I shouted at her, you want me to travel in this bus for 10 full days, and that too in this rotted, rusted 5-seater bus? You know what your cousin has done to us? Cheated us! My mother was literally in tears. She was fearing that my words would have reached my uncle's ears. My father came to me and he said, okay, Ma, tell me what you can do to make your stay comfortable for the next 10 days. I looked at him and shouted, leave us alone. I literally meant leave us alone. You know what is in the family hereditary that all of us are of same size. At least 20 years before, 3/4 of my current size. Can you imagine 3 people of 3/4 of my size sitting in a 3-seater for 10 full days? That's why I asked him to leave us alone and find a spot where he can sit, stand, or do whatever he can for the next 10 days. And true to his words, my brother found a hot seat. It was like a rectangular box from which there was a rod projecting out and the driver used to change gear. So just then the bus started taka 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 taka, and all my hope to enjoy the next 10 days was burned to ashes. Just then I heard another loud noise coming from the seat behind, and I turned around to see 2 chatterboxes. And when I looked at them, they were just like out of school, talking about my favorite hero and not worried about what is happening around them, talking loudly and making a lot of noise. I was totally annoyed and grieved, why the hell am I here? And my mother, to avoid further nagging, found an old lady next to my seat who was sitting alone and went there to sit and leaving all the 3 seats for me. So I closed my eyes tightly and fell off for a deep sleep. When I woke up, after some time, I heard the same noise which I heard a little while back. The 2 girls were standing next to me, and when they saw me rubbing my eyes and looking at her, they asked me whether they can sit next to me. Though initially I was hesitant, I just asked them to sit next to me. Soon I found that they were not really bad. The next few days, I found that they were better, and sooner they were my best friends. That journey was a journey of transformation in my life. People whom I thought were tough and sturdy started talking and mingling with each other. They were just waiting for a smile from one of us to start a conversation. So we had a lot of small talks, big talks, and large talks on various matters. My brother had typically become a tour coordinator for my uncle, like blowing the whistles to get back the straightaway fellow travelers back to the bus, locating a restaurant for the driver, or even standing on the footboard to ask for the route to the destination. And my mom joined a group of old ladies who were talking about their daughters and sons in US and various places, and some were even trying to match horoscopes for their sons and relatives' sons. So in this journey, we visited the gorgeous Bhubaneswar Falls, the charming, majestic Mysore Palace, and the divine Sringeri Sharadamma Temple. And we also saw a herd of elephants with their babies traveling in the Bandipur forest. It was a journey where we thoroughly enjoyed. And today when I look back, my perception of Uncle Z has changed. It is not because of money he wanted us to join him. It is not because of money he was a tour operator. But it was for the same fondness he had on my mother, and he wanted her daughters to get the same, to experience the excitement, fun, and spiritualism that he wanted us to join this journey. It was a time when I had felt close bonding with strangers whom I have never met before. Some of them are not strangers. They are relative now, thanks to the work of the old ladies who have matched the horoscopes. So I would take this moment to thank Uncle Z for providing a simple but enriching experience which made me passionate about traveling.